choke and pick something normal, you're gonna have to find like the real counter to that hero and just go with it, even if it's not meta.
Yep, and that's exactly what they do. They dig deep, they look into their resources, and they find the Zeus, which I think is a great pick this game, but a great answer, of course, to Tinker with that Aghanims, with the Nimbus and everything above. So, very quickly, gentlemen, can I get your predictions before we move into the cast?
I like Vici here.
I like
2-0.
I think if LGD can get over their greedy hump at the beginning of the game, I think they look really good. I'll go LGD.
Okay, well, late game belongs to LGD, the mid game and the tempo belongs to Vici, and you know what, judging by this last game, I don't know, it's really hard to get a power reading on LGD after last game because they were doing something very interesting, but their first 10 minutes were so scary and so dominant that I think now that they're playing something a little bit more sane, I think they might just have this one. So I'm going to go LGD as we get into the game. And of course, throw it over to our casters, which is B-Cup and Mofaro, as we've already started off with First Blood.
You very quickly done there by LGD, but you got to remember last game that was their first kill in what 24 kills unanswered in that first game after they got to 30.
Yeah, they were really itching for one, weren't they? For a kill.
Yeah, they really needed that. So when that Mars got picked, I swear I thought they were gonna go like mid SK and 4 Tinker for a second. No. To the point where, well, I only thought it for a second because I said it earlier, where I was like, they're gonna do a 4 Tinker today. So I got like super excited that I was just like 1,000 IQ.
Yeah, Y's in trouble, but the battle for the rune, PYW. It's a better clicker. Oh, there's another rune boss. PYW's like, oh, thanks.
He fairy fired?
I mean, this Zeus is using so much mana for the kill, and he didn't even get the first blood. Huh. That's pretty. He's gonna have to walk back to base. Does he miss the first wave because of this?
Yeah.
That's rough.
The big brain take as much time as you can to die.
But he walked back to base and he still comes back to lane on half mana. Wow. Yeah, this is the lane that I'm a little bit worried about for LGD, the Mars and the Sand King. I thought they were going to make the Disruptor the 4 and do the range melee combos. But the Disruptor obviously much better in lane against the DK, so makes sense still.
Yeah. We'll see how this works out. We'll see if LGD can win this one. How NothingToSay can do on this Tinker. He's got a pretty decent win rate with this Tinker in pro games. He's got a 65% win rate.
Luna?
He's in trouble. Starting to turn on old 11 for a second as PYW's getting hit up pretty hard.
I guess 4 mangoes and a clarity lane.
At the same time, DY in the top lane. He gets quite low and deep beyond. Here with Jinkyu. This could be a pretty deadly combo. Burrow striking a spear.
Trouble.
Oh, why? It's the kinetic field down.
Everybody's just on edge in this bot lane.
Fake hype after fake hype in all the lanes that we're switching over to when they have like no health.
So everybody's playing Morphling. The Observer's worst.
There's the Burrow strike and the spear. DY low, DY gone. And Innocence, he sits low and they'll end up trading. PYW gets the kill on to Innocence. Innocence gets the kill on to PYW.
Honestly, I think the Disruptor wants the free trip back to base there. He was quite happy not to use any more of his regen and just like go and get his Luna's items, I think.
Yeah, he had no mana left. He's got 3 mangoes and a clarity, but why use it if you know you're going to die? Like, yeah, you give up that kill to PYW, but now you're back with full health, full mana. And you can, instead of healing yourself and surviving and using that salve on yourself, you pass it over to Ame. But Innocence, I say that, and he's just going to die again.
That's
so back-to-back death says now he won't have a TP to get back to lane.
And this is what we're saying on the panel about having this opening. Like,
Jinkyu's under a sentry. Where's the burrow strike and get out of that sandstorm? The impetus shot. Oh, 3 health.
Oh, the tornado!
And the tornado. Whoa. What a move by DUI.
Yeah, and this TB's just free farming top lane as well at the same time. So everything looking great so far for Vici. Bot lane going well, top lane going well. Mid, not fantastic, but yeah. Zeus just pushes the lane out anyway. He'll be fine. I assume he's going to go for the max like arc lightning build.
Is this Tinker even that great come the mid to late game? Like, staying out of vision for sure?
I mean, this hero's been getting a lot more popularity in pubs recently. I'm pretty sure across all levels, in fact. Because it was hardly ever touched before, right?
Ooh, PYW. Fairy Fire, Bushwhack. Ooh, no. Lucent Beam is a very long-range spell. So why is Tinker gaining that popularity? Because I remember talking about wanting this hero in the beginning of the DPC season and being told I was never going to see it because it's bad.
I think it can be really good. You just need those items to get online, right? You know, you want the Shivas, you want the Ags for the HP percentage. It's really good. The main reason they picked it is because it's really good against TB, though. Like, when you get the Ags, you clear through the illusions so quickly. So we'll see how it goes, but I think it's like one of my most played heroes because I'm a sicko. So I want to see it do well.
Want to see it do well? Okay.
I haven't even played it recently. There was like one patch where I just played it loads. Oh,
And that was it.
that was it.
Bottom lane, Ame going down. PYW getting a kill there. And this combination of DK Hoodwink has shown to be pretty decent. And they've got that ult coming out from the Zeus already. Tinker pretty low. So is this Disruptor. I mean, a lot of these heroes are really quite low for the side of LGD. And things getting a little bit dangerous as Faith Beyond's on the run from the Metamorphosis Poyoyo. They've got the Lucent Beam onto Old 11. The kinetic field is down, and that will lock up Old 11 in the bottom lane. And with that Thunder Strike, with the kinetic field blocking him in, they'll get the kill on to the DK.
It feels like this bottom wave has been like just outside the Dyer's tower for forever, right? I feel like they've been in really good control of this wave. Yes, the DK does end up dying, but this Luna's CS is not fantastic so far this game. She needs to try and make the most of it while the DK's dead.
So they'll secure the Arcane Rune here for Ori.
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
They're gonna refill this bottle for Nothing to say. Do you think in the next patch they get rid of that?
No, I don't think so.
Bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, they could. I think that it's most likely that in the next patch it's not going to be massive, like, game-changing things. They'll probably wait until after TI for that. I think it's more likely to be a general balance thing.
I wish it was massive game-changing things. Jinkyu coming over, Innocent's getting attacked. Well, you know, learn it. Trying to get this kill on the Disruptor. Old 11 pretty tanky. Now still on the run. Lucent Beam comes in. Jinkyu continuing to try and chase. He doesn't have enough mana yet for the Burrow Strike, but does pop that stick. South pop by Old 11. He'll stay pretty healthy now, and they'll get the kill on the PYW, and, well, Old 11 will survive. Meanwhile, Nothing to Say taking a lot of damage. He's kind of low. No Thunder God's Wrath, but Nothing to Say trying to outrun Old 11. They get the kill on a Jinkyu, and Zeus gets credit for that. Nothing to Say still trying to run. Breathe Fire lands, but no Elder Dragon form, no ranged Dragon Tail. Nothing to Say is able to walk it out. However, there it is.
Oh, God. Yeah.
On Innocence and Nothing to Say.
I was going to say, there's no TP on the Tinker, so I think he just dies to the Zeus. Yeah.
And they might get Ame, too. This is going horribly. Lucent Beam comes in. Glaive's coming out. Faith Beyond forced to TP into the bottom lane. Wow.
Dear, oh dear. I mean, this Zeus is so rich now from getting that double kill on the Disruptor and the Tinker. He has so much net worth.
Attend us.
I'll see what the little sprites fly all the way back to the edge.
Wait for us. UI now gonna try and just waste some time.
I mean, dude, this is so good by dude. There's like 3 heroes just chasing after him while his TV's free farming.
Get him! Get him! There we go. And then he just stands still.
He's got an Ench creep coming. Oh, okay.
Trying to do as much as I can.
Oh, and they find the ward as well.
That's actually a decent amount of gold for that then.
Radiant's
That's okay.
top tower is under
But this is what we were saying before though as well, that LGD's draft is really greedy, right? Like, they have 2 position 1s basically in Luna and Tinker that take up so much of the map. And then Mars as well needs a decent amount of farm really early on. And then there's like this sanking forward that really wants to get to his blink timing as well. So this laning stage, I don't think was ever really going to go, like early game was never going to go too well for them.
Radiant's middle tower.
If the early game had gone well, I think they just, walk down lanes basically.
But if the lanes don't go well,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
does the mid game go well
Dire's top
either?
tower is under attack.
Like, they're greedy and they need to take up a lot of the map. The more and more your map gets cut down, which, to be fair, hasn't been cut down at all yet, the worse it's gonna get.
Oh, hang on. Ench creep, go!
Dire's top tower is under attack.
2 sentries down just to watch this SK, and they're gonna try and stick with him. They've got the Thunder God's Wrath, they'll get the kill, and now they can work on this tier 1 bot.
Yeah, and they get to chip away as well. And you have to remember the whole time this TV's just free farming the top jungle. And I know Luna's farming as well. But I think you do have to be worried. Like people were saying earlier, this TB is a great core matchup against the Luna.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Innocent's dying to PYW. He's got some help there from the Zeus. They'll bring Jinkyu over bottom again. He just died here over in the bottom lane, and that sentry's still there. So Dragon Tail hits, impetus shots coming in. Jinkyu needs to be very careful. Now just outside the range of that sentry and back in it.
Do they have any more detection on those?
He finds
yeah, the Ench has 2 more sentries being delivered.
Innocence comes down. 4 heroes are going to be here now.
The Sucker's not level 6 yet. This is a bit of a worry.
Earth Strike, Kinetic Field, Thunder Strike coming out with the arena. They've got the spear, and down goes Gold 11. Epicenter committed by Jinkyu. They'll get the kill on a DY. They'll bring back PYW, trying to find themselves a 3rd. Bushwhack on a 2, and a Sharpshooter to get some distance. They don't have a Blink Dagger, so PYW escapes. Really well done to have that Sharpshooter move, especially with the Bushwhack that held them close to those trees.
There was the spear brush past his ear as well, ever so slightly.
Yeah. Now they know with that chunk missing by the ear it brushed past that he's been tracked. You know how they do with the animals. They tag them. Forget it. Never mind.
Questionable subject, be kept quick, move on.
You know, just
it happens.
find wild animal tendencies. It's all right.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Conserve the animal life.
I'm a bit worried for Vici that they haven't really opened up the map at all yet. Like they're desperately trying to knock their heads on this tier 1, but this Tinker's now just TPing bot over and over again and just laying down marches, and it's so hard for them to push into it.
Regeneration.
Oh.
And it's instead of the Thunder God's Wrath. Oh, they call themselves a Tinker now. Because of that vision, they'll get the kill and march to the machines of the tower.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
It's getting close.
He's
No. He was always fine. All right, PYW, heal yourself. I'll take your health. Thanks for the thunder.
So Jinkyu's about 800 gold off his blink, 900 gold, so not too far. This is a really nice ward by the Dire side though. I mean, this Ench is just going to break the smoke, and that feels so good.
This Zeus feels very strong at the moment. Bringing the Tinker in.
Dire's top tower is
And
under
that here is so annoying.
Gosh, DY just eating up all the aggression. And to be fair to Vici, LGD haven't gotten the top tier 1 yet either.
No, not at all. I think it's much harder for them to. Like,
Is it though?
There's a DK
4
on
heroes. Yeah, but there were 4 heroes bottom for the longest time.
Yeah, of course, but they want to defend their own tower rather than trade. Because they have a Tinker, so I think you want to hold every tower you possibly can. Like, because eventually it gets really difficult to push into tier 2s when there's a Tinker on the other team. So you want to try and keep your tier 1s alive. You know, delay the game as long as possible, basically.
Right.
Because like we've said, they do have a greedy lineup, and like this, even this Sanking 4 has the potential to scale really well. So if they can get over this early game, their lineup looks really strong. Like late game, you have Axe Disruptor potentially as well. One of the better scaling supports.
Static Storm down. Zeus caught up in the kinetic field as well as the Static Storm, and he'll get the kill with the Lightning Bolt. The God's Wrath now off cooldown in 4 seconds. He is 5-0-4, though 1,000 gold behind the Luna and the TB, despite the fact that he's had such a rolling start.
Faithian hasn't died yet either. Well, it's quite impressive. Yeah, Sanking Blink coming out. I'd like to see them try and make a move here. Potentially around this mid tier 1, potentially around the top tier 1. I think you can afford to be aggressive now. Because the Tinker can be, you know, playing the dead lane like the Sanking has here and just pushing out waves and things. You want your Sanking to be basically off map all the time now that he has Blink. You know, you don't really want him to show anywhere, because if Vici see the Sanking just sitting in a side lane, they know that they're not really in trouble anywhere on the map.
He's 1,500 gold away from Ags. Smoke from both teams. Poyoyo's down here by himself. He's gonna get caught. Blink Burrow Strike coming through. They've got the Mars Arena and the Spear with the Epicenter, and Poyoyo will end up dead to Jinkyu.
Huge kill. That's really good.
Guess it's my shot.
The same. You have to remember, at the same time, Vici aren't getting anything done with their smoke. So there's like 3 heroes that aren't farming because they're smoked. Oh no, Arme.
Oh dear.
He's fine.
Fake hype, Mo. Fake hype.
Well, the thing is, he knows that they're around somewhere in the top half of the map, right?
Right.
Because there was nobody bot helping the TB.
And Jinkyu deep. He was behind the tier 2 tower, cutting creeps. That was crazy.
Yeah, just shove the lanes in as much as possible. You'd rather clear a creep wave than a jungle camp, right?
Yeah. Being safe like that, that's for sure.
Yeah. The Axe queued up on the Tinker after Blink. So it's going to be a little while, but if he just keeps farming, he'll get there.
And anybody to catch him. If they had anybody to catch him, that would have been pretty close there to kill off at Tinker.
This game's a lot slower than the last one. I say that though, there's still 24 kills in 16 minutes. Like, it's still a relatively quick game in comparison to the other series we've had today. But the last game just was such an anomaly that now everything
in 20 minutes.
Slow.
Yeah.
Everything feels slow in comparison.
So, break down what you think Vici have to do in the next 5 minutes or so to really stop the bleeding.
I mean, how close is the Zeus to an item? Because I think when he gets Axe, right, the DK's game completely changes. Yeah, he's 700 gold away. When the Zeus gets Axe, obviously DK can play completely differently, where he looks for pickoffs, and there's always going to be a Nimbus on top. So the Zeus doesn't need to be there to get his damage off, right, necessarily.
Right.
You have Nimbus, you have Thunder God's Wrath, pickoffs become a lot easier. This is a great smoke. I like this. Because they have the ward on the high ground, they see this TB farming.
They're going to go for it. They find him, they kill off Poyoyo. Ed again. And that is Faith Beyond on a killing spree. Dragon Tail comes out, Bushwhack there. Innocent's in trouble, Sharpshooter finish. So they trade, but it's not the trade they want.
They have Nether Shawl for the Tinker as well if he wants to take it. I mean, it's a good Sanking
he's got it.
It's a good Tinker item.
Dire's top tower
He picked it up.
attack.
This is not the start that Puyo wanted. Granted, he's only he's about 2,000 behind this Luna.
I'll be honest, Peacock, this has the potential to be a really long game. Because one team has to push into a Tinker and the other team has to push into a Zeus.
Well, I am no stranger to those. This one doesn't involve an Arc Warden, and so I'm a lot more willing to be okay with that.
Zeus just scouting with his ult.
Yeah, maybe looking to throw down that Nimbus.
Dire's
If you could find the right target.
That was so much harder to take.
Thanks.
Right. Over towards mid again, and I remember that they do have the miss, but they're going to throw down the arena. They've got the spear onto this PYW hoodwink, and they'll get themselves a kill. Old 11 stayed pretty close, so they have a glimpse and a static storm ready to go. Epicenter Burrow Strike. I'm not sure why Old 11 kind of hung around, almost like he wasn't ready for the unpause.
Dire's structures.
And now they've got
got the
spear
spear.
of the Enchantress. They'll drop down the Eclipse. They're trying to make something happen. It was a very early Eclipse with a BKB usage.
Yeah, the Dire popped their glyph at the same time to try and maximize the damage under tower. That was quite nice. So Luna uses BKB, but honestly, it's not too bad. They're still in a decent position here. $700 gold to go, Beacop. I'm wondering when the Tinker gets axed whether he does just like carry on farming and being, split pushy, or whether he tries to, join fights a little bit more potentially. I know there's not a huge amount of fighting going on at the moment, but they might look to try and force more, is what I mean, because of how strong they are with the Tinker axe.
Right.
They obviously open Roche up a lot better as well because the HP percentage works on Roche for some reason. And it just reduces Roshan's model size for some reason. So it looks ridiculous.
I actually like that.
Oh, great play by Innocence. Just blocking the smoke down so for Luna.
2, and PYW Old 11 in some trouble. They get the kill on Innocence. They'll end up trading a 2-for-1. Sunder, Faith Beyond getting low. Laser on a DY, and now looking to continue and follow this up. Jinkyu has picked up the shard, so he's walking, trying to make these epicenter shakes or pulses, and he also took the extra damage per pulse.
What a good fight by LGD though. You see Disruptor in the perfect positioning.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Just instantly breaks the smoke. He's the first one to get gone on, but they're like, oh, we don't really want him, but so we drop a wall, we kind of have to. They don't even kill him. They realize they're outnumbered, and the fight's just over at that point. The fact that
Tiny roaches.
Did that ward just time out as he went to kill it? I think it did. That's unfortunate. We didn't see, unfortunately.
Is this already too far gone for Vici? It feels like just you're not getting anything out of this TV, or nothing of sustainability for the moment. He is not really outputting much damage and not surviving in these fights.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? But you're playing into a Luna with 4K net worth on you, and a Tinker, which is probably one of the biggest counters to TV, even though it's not too popular at the moment. And like Mars Arena's really good, like we've mentioned before as well, blocking the shots with the edge of the arena. Like he uses his 9-second BKB and gets nothing from it.
There's smoke. They're looking through mid.
Dire are scanning.
6K lead for LGD. And you said Vici has good high ground defense, and that is potentially true.
Yeah, I mean,
close enough.
This 7K net worth lead means nothing for like for LGD trying to take high ground. It's so difficult still. Nice ward by Vici. It's in such a weird position for trying to D-ward because you tend to put sentries like around it rather than like within that range.
About to
Dire's
time out.
middle tower is under attack.
And they're going to realize that they're all standing on it as well when it does time out.
They were grouped up bottom like they wanted to make a move, but I just don't see that happen.
I mean, they're trying to force a fight on LGD, right? But Avicii are doing a really good job of just, you know, playing around the edges of the map.
Who's going refresher?
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you want to maximize your damage output, right? And refresher does that more than any other item.
I understand the 200 extra mana, but is it worth, if you're behind like this, to just pass off the Philosopher's Stone from the Enchantress to the Zeus? It's not like he's right-clicking. It also gives you plus 200 mana.
I don't mind that. I think it's okay. Even on heroes like Lesh and stuff as well, it can be decent sometimes. But, I mean, then she's like, I mean, you're getting so much farm already, man. Just give me the stone. I'm not giving it to you.
Has fallen.
I just think that you might want to have...
Oh, PYW. Oh dear.
PYW low, epicenter used, and there's an easy kill. Daedalus picked up for the Luna. Jeez.
I mean, fair play to GQ as well. We talked about how it might be a difficult game for him.
Ooh, Spear missed DY. They got the glimpse though on the Zeus. Now they'll drop down the Static Storm, so that is a dead Zeus.
And this Ench is just getting run down.
This tiny Ench getting run down and killed off by Nothing to Say.
I have laser beams.
It just feels like there's no play for Vici to make. You know? Like this DK... was it you I was talking to earlier that we were saying that, you know, a lot of the time on the DK you go like Blink BKB and you might struggle to farm a little bit. And it kind of feels like what's happened this game, where they tried to find openings, they didn't really work, and then all of a sudden your DK just gains no net worth as the game goes on. It's just so reliant on finding kills.
It's because we were seeing the Armlet DK. They'll try and go with the Metamorphosis. They've got the Burrow Strike coming through onto the Hoodwink. Right click damage is just enough to get the kill there onto Innocence. It's very difficult to step up on this Tinker.
Yeah, like maybe the Tinker can just undergo Wrath and the DK finds the entrance onto the Tinker because of that. You know, the vision that it gives, but it's still really difficult. I mean, if you're the Tinker, you could even just wait in base until Thunder God's Wrath has been used, and then TP to the fight for it. He has Force Staff as well to get out of the Nimbus.
Dire's structures are fortified.
So you've made him spend that extra gold on Force Staff, but yet he still feels so far ahead.
Dire's bottom tower has
Gift
fallen.
from the tempest of battle.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, we were worried about the LGD's greed, right? And then you look at Vici's draft as well, and you're like, they've still got Terrorblade
Dire's
Zeus.
bottom tower is
You know,
under
like,
attack.
it's still really difficult for them to make moves as well. Very much a greed off.
Yeah. I'm just down by so much. I
Dire's bottom tower
don't
is
see
under attack.
any way Vici find their way back into this game. Or at least 99.99% chance that they don't make their way back into this game.
Do you know how they get back into the game, B-Cup? Second Roche.
Dire's bottom
Yeah,
tower
sure.
has fallen.
And it would give Shard.
And then you can give that to the
Not really many great, not great Shard carriers.
What's the Zeus one's pretty weird, isn't it? Oh, they caught him.
Oh, well, Zeus is caught. He was standing in front of the tower, which is a dangerous idea, and Jinky will get the kill with the epicenter. PYW and Ori are gone. They don't have meta for 20 seconds.
We said their high ground defense was really good, but unfortunately when the Zeus is dead, it's not quite so good.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They have another wave coming on the Radiant side as well. So it'll probably come just as the high ground backdoor defense kicks back in again.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Why doesn't it kick back in immediately?
Dire's
Yeah,
bottom
I don't
barracks
know.
are under attack.
I mean, it would be really difficult to push high ground if it did. I still think it needs to be less than it currently is. But
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen. Dire's Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, there's a gem on the disruptor as well. The Chinese teams are so good at doing this. Like, all the top teams, to be fair, but especially like LGD and Vici. They're not afraid to buy gem.
I'm not afraid to buy like 2 or 3.
I mean, X-Nova was the one that used to do it all the time, right? For E-Home.
Right.
Even when they were losing games, he'd nearly always pick up this early gem in comparison to other teams. And it seems that it's kind of caught on a lot more now.
Passing off the gem to the Mars. It just doesn't feel feasible that they can hold this high ground. Zeus will obviously want a refresher. Is that even going to be close to enough damage?
Is under attack.
I'll say yes because it keeps the game alive. Right?
I guess so.
I don't really know what to tell you at this point because it is very difficult. Like, how do they burst the Luna? Like, through Aegis and stuff especially. We'll see what happens when it gets there, but...
At the moment, he doesn't even have...
Yeah, Roche it's a long Roche. I'm like planning ahead, right? Because when they get the Aegis, it's difficult enough to kill the Luna once. Like, how are you going to kill her twice? Like, look at the DQ's net worth. You're below Zoom Q on the Sand King. The 20k net worth behind at 30 minutes. And this is a problem when you have greedy lineups. It's like, if one of them pulls slightly ahead and they manage to make... Say they get like 2 more camps of jungle farm over the other team. Yeah, that adds up over every minute, right? Especially when you have these like position 4s that want to farm a lot and stuff. And then each like increment of net worth advantage really means something.
Right.
And the lead builds bigger and bigger every minute. They take more of the map, and then the greed. They have like the map to be able to farm to use their greedy lineup.
They have the greediest map takers in the game. In Luna and Tinker, it feels like.
The TY just runs up the high ground.
Renegades Wrath, and now they've got the Lotus Orb with the silence. They may have been able to catch this Mars for the first time. They finally get a kill on the face beyond the look over to the side, but TY just gets wiped off the face of the earth, and the right-click damage coming in from Ame on Apoyoyo. Look at how quickly he dies. 70 seconds, no buyback. They find the Zeus. There's the GG call, and we're even at 1.
I love how the TV's BKB runs out and he goes from 100 to 0 in half a second.
PSG.
He's just gone.
Instantly.
There's nothing he can do.